The average person works roughly 90,000 hours in their lifetime to earn money. Some businesses don't need your hours at all, just your setup. Today, I will be talking about 6 businesses that make money on days you do nothing at all, ranked from the cheapest to get into to the most expensive, so you can see exactly which door is open to you right now. The businesses get bigger as we go, and the last one is so unremarkable looking, you'll wonder why nobody told you about it sooner. 1. Rent someone else's apartment, then rent it out again. A guy I came across online doesn't own a single property, not one, and he clears more in a month than most landlords with an actual mortgage. His trick has a name, rental arbitrage, and it lives in one uncomfortable sounding sentence. He's subletting. The play: find a normal apartment in a location people travel to, near an airport, downtown, a neighborhood with foot traffic. Sign a lease like any tenant would. Then, before anything is final, ask the landlord directly if you can list the unit on Airbnb or Booking.com. A shocking number say yes, especially once you offer slightly more than market rent in exchange. Say the lease is $950 a month. Furnish it decently, take real photos, price each night at $70 to $140, fill 20 nights a month, and you're sitting on $1,400 to $2,800 in revenue against $950 in cost. You never bought the apartment. You're profiting like you did. Entry cost: roughly $6,000 to $18,000 to cover deposit, first month, and furniture. The real business only starts once unit number 1 is stable, because now you clone it. The booking automations, the dynamic pricing tool, the cleaning contractor, the smart lock, none of that is apartment specific. Bolt it onto unit number 2, number 3, number 12. There are people quietly running 20 to 30 units this way, without a single mortgage between them, pulling $28,000 to $40,000 a month while barely checking their phone. 2. Sell a product you never touch. Don't have 5 figures to drop on a lease deposit? Fine. This next one costs nothing to start. Somewhere right now, a designer is getting paid for a t-shirt they made and forgot about 18 months ago. They find out it's sold when a notification pops up. That's it. That's their involvement. That's print on demand. You design something, a phrase, a graphic, an aesthetic, and upload it to Printful, Printify, or Merch by Amazon. A customer orders. The platform prints it, boxes it, ships it. You were never in the room. Cost to start? Free if you can design. A couple $100 if you're paying someone else to. Margins sit at 70 to 90% because you're never holding inventory. Most people designing for print on demand make one mistake. They design for everyone. Shirt for moms is invisible. Shirt for moms doing a 5 a.m. workout before the kids wake up gets bought on site. The riskier and more specific your target, the more the design feels handpicked for one person. And that's what triggers the purchase. Once it's live forever. No restocking, no expiration. 50 solid designs sitting in a store can quietly bring in money every single month, whether you log in or not. Global print on demand crossed $16 billion last year, growing at roughly 30% annually. And most of that cash lands in accounts belonging to people who just kept uploading. 3. Package what you already know. This business has genuinely zero materials cost. No printing, no shipping, nothing physical at all. Just information that's currently trapped in your head. Think about the last time a friend asked you something you'd already explained to 3 other people. That repetition, that's inventory. Somebody else's confusion is your product. A course, a template, a short guide, an ebook. Build it once, and it keeps selling with zero re-explaining at 3 a.m. to a stranger on another continent without you lifting a finger. The assumption that stops people from starting: I'm not an expert. You don't need to be. You need to know slightly more than someone one step behind you. And honestly, the person who learned something 2 years ago often teaches it better than the 20-year veteran because they still remember exactly where the confusion lives. 2 ways in if you genuinely feel you have nothing worth teaching. 1. Use AI to research, structure, and script a full course in a fraction of the time it took 5 years ago. You're not inventing the knowledge, you're packaging it well. 2. And fewer people know this. Some platforms let you promote and sell other people's courses for a commission. You bring the audience, they bring the expertise. Cost: $0 to $4,000 to launch. Realistic monthly income: $1,500 to $8,000 for a few hours a week. Same rule applies here as with the t-shirts. Productivity course sells to nobody. Productivity course for freelance designers juggling 3 clients at once sells itself. The online education market alone is worth over $350 billion a year. Not because people suddenly love studying, but because the right answer at the right moment beats a 4-year degree every time. A digital file never runs out of stock. It gets bought, delivered, and logged automatically at any hour, on any continent, while you're asleep. Drop a comment below telling me what you're currently doing for income, especially if you've already got something running without you glued to it. Genuinely curious what's out there. And if this kind of breakdown is useful, the subscribe button costs nothing and means you won't miss the next one. 4. A machine that already knows how to collect money. Everything above lives on a screen. This one is physical, and it's probably sitting less than a 2-minute walk from you right now. Vending machines. I know. It's the most repeated example in every passive income video ever made, which is exactly why people dismiss it as played out. That logic is backwards. It's repeated because it consistently works, not because it stopped working. You've fed coins or a tap to pay into one without ever wondering who owns it. Someone does, and it's rarely complicated to become that person. Cost: $2,000 to $7,000 per unit. Place it somewhere with reliable foot traffic. A gym, a break room, a hospital hallway. And it earns $400 to $700 a month for maybe 2 hours of your time. Mostly restocking. Nobody scales machine number 1 into real income. They scale to 5, then 10, because the exact operating system, routes, restock schedule, reporting, transfers untouched from unit to unit. One operator built a $350,000 per year, run on 4 hours of work. Per week, not per day. Modern machines report inventory and cash levels straight to an app, so you're managing it from your phone before you even walk in the door. 5. The business that never goes out of style because it's never in style. Some businesses sound thrilling and fail anyway. This one sounds like the least exciting thing you'll hear all week, and it's been quietly profitable for decades. Laundromats. Nobody's ever standing behind the counter. It runs at 2 a.m., the same as 2 p.m. And there's a reason you've never heard of one shutting down from lack of demand. Dirty clothes don't care about a recession, a pandemic, or interest rates. That's about as close to guaranteed demand as a business gets. Buy-in: $250,000 to $700,000 to acquire or build one. Not a casual entry point, but the return justifies looking closer. Monthly revenue: $6,000 to $35,000 depending on size and footfall. Owner time: 4 to 15 hours a week, and some operators run several locations from their phone without setting foot in most of them. The reason it works without you: modern laundromats run on card systems, not coins, with apps that flag which machine is active, what's been collected today, and whether anything's malfunctioning, before it becomes an expensive problem. Add in that customers serve themselves entirely: load, pay, wait, leave, no staff required. And you get a business that reports to you instead of the other way around. The U.S. laundromat industry alone moves roughly $6 billion a year, most of it toward people who bet on boring instead of trendy. 6. Renting space for stuff nobody wants to throw away. Last one, and it's the least glamorous item on this entire list: sheet metal, roll-up doors, padlocks, empty corridors. Nothing about it photographs well. It also has the highest ceiling and asks for the least of your time out of everything covered today. Self-storage runs on one basic fact: people accumulate more stuff than fits in their homes. From a move, a divorce, a closed business, an inheritance, and they'll pay monthly rather than deal with it. Buy-in is the steepest on the list: $2 million or more for a new facility. This isn't a side hustle entry point, but the numbers behind it explain why serious investors keep buying in. The income ceiling outranks everything else on this list, and with the right automation, owner involvement can drop under 2 hours a week. A renter finds a unit online, pays automatically, signs digitally, and unlocks with an app or code, all without you involved. Miss a payment, and the system charges a late fee on its own. Miss it again, and it escalates the process without a single phone call from you. No inventory, minimal staffing, and almost nothing mechanical to break. The number that makes this a genuine cash machine. The average storage renter keeps their unit for 16 plus months. That's over a year of automatic monthly payments from one signature. You're not chasing new customers constantly. The ones who show up tend to just stay. The U.S. self-storage industry pulls in $45 billion plus annually, and it's held its position as one of the strongest sectors in commercial real estate for over a decade, purely because it works quietly and consistently. The thread through all six. None of these are exciting. None of them promise overnight wealth. Every single one requires real effort to set up. But each one shares the one thing most income doesn't: a system that keeps running whether or not you're standing next to it. Right now, while you're reading this, a storage unit somewhere is collecting rent on autopilot. A laundromat's machines are spinning with nobody watching. A vending machine just sold a drink to someone on a night shift. A t-shirt sold without its designer waking up to see it happen. A course just got delivered to someone across the planet at 4 a.m. An apartment checked a guest in without a human involved anywhere in the process. The real question was never which of these six is the best. It's which one you can actually start with what you already have. This week, before it turns into one more idea that lived and died in your Notes app. If this was useful, subscribing costs nothing and keeps this kind of breakdown coming. And seriously, tell me in the comments what you're building right now. If you've already got something running without your constant attention, that thread might be the most useful part of this entire video.